Hey guys, Fork in the Road coming to you tonight with another cooking video. Tonight we're going to be doing Dubai tacos. If you haven't heard of them, you're about to. This is a blend of ground beef and ground lamb we're going to use for the tacos. This is some of the other ingredients we're going to be using. Corn tortillas, some shredded cheddar, some dried spices, peppers, onions. We're going to start by prepping the meat blend for the tacos. We're going to start with one green bell pepper. And we're going to mince it very finely. We want a nice fine mince on these. There's nothing worse than biting into a taco, a burger, anything that has peppers and onions in it, and you get a big, huge chunk of pepper. No bueno. So we're going to do a very fine mince on all the vegetables for this recipe. As you can see, I'm cutting it into very, very thin strips right now. And then we're going to flip it around. And a nice, very small dice, a mince. In French, they would call it maybe a brunoise, but we're not going to get that fancy. And we're going to get that into the bowl. And we're going to move on to one white onion. We're going to peel that, and we're going to mince that very small as well. Okay, got the ends off. I'm going to peel it down. Clean as you go. And there we go. We're going to get that core out. Bye-bye. And very thin strips. Beautiful. It's nice to see I still have the knife skills a little bit. And here we go, a nice small dice. Okay. After we get the onion into the bowl, we're going to move on to a chili pepper. I use the Serrano. Depends on your heat preference. If you like spicy, use a jalapeno, use a Scotch bonnet. I am not looking to burn myself out tonight, so I just went with a Serrano. You know, it's got some heat to it, but not like a jalapeno. And same thing, we're going to mince that nice and small. Add that to the mix. These tacos, guys, are they, from just watching the videos on them so far, look outrageous. I can't wait to try these. And there we go. Now we got about 3-4 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to do a nice mince on those as well. Okay, those are just about minced. And into the bowl. And now we're going to move on to getting our meat mixture spiced up. The dried spices that we're using, that was smoked paprika that just went in. And next we have a little cinnamon. And then we're going to do a little bit of cardamom. And some nutmeg. Some salt and pepper. Always want to season whatever you're cooking. Salt and pepper, always. Next we have going in, I believe is going to be, yep, that is a ground up, 3 chicken bouillon cubes ground up. And that is a tablespoon of freeze-dried instant coffee. Yes, instant coffee. And that is baking powder. Baking powder is going to go in there. It's going to tenderize the meat a little bit. I'm going to mix this in with the peppers and onions mixture with the garlic. We're going to get that all mixed together. And it's best to let it sit in the refrigerator for about a half an hour, 40 minutes. Let the flavors form. And that baking powder that I put in there is going to tenderize the meat a little bit. Those flavors that are in there, the nutmeg and the cardamom and the cinnamon and the paprika, the smokiness. This originated. It was I think it was based originally off of an Egyptian street food, from what I understand. So it's got a lot of Middle Eastern spices in it. And there we go. Now we're going to form these into 4-ounce balls that we're going to use to make the tacos. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then once I got these formed, we're going to go outside. I got the Pit Boss Pellet smoker grill going at 400 degrees right now with my flat top in there. Nice and hot, ready to roll. And as soon as we get these formed, we are going to head outside with our burger balls and our corn tortillas and our shredded cheddar cheese. You want to use a good melty cheese for this. I found the nice shredded cheddar, but you want to use a cheese that's going to melt for these. Anytime you're doing a taco on the flat top, quesadilla tacos or dorados, anything like that where you're melting the cheese, you want something, a mozzarella, a chihuahua, a queso, but I went with a nice shredded cheddar, a nice white shredded cheddar. Now I'm making the sauce. This is my version of the sauce. Nobody knows the true sauce, the original one. They don't give the recipe out. But this is basically going to be some mayonnaise, ketchup, a little honey, a squeeze of lime. I'm going to add a little cumin and chili powder to it. And salt and pepper. There goes the cumin and the chili powder. And the salt and pepper. And we're going to mix this together. And that's going to be the sauce for the tacos. These tacos, from what I could, from me making them so far, I would go, you can use a tahini with this. You could use a tzatziki if you wanted to. But this right here, the ketchup, mayonnaise, and lime with the cumin and chilies and the honey, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to add a little balance. So now we're outside on the Pit Boss. I got the flat top heated up to 400. Got a little oil down on it right now, spread out. And I'm going to add my balls of meat, my little burger balls. There we go. I'm going to do them in batches of 4. So we got those on there nice. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a corn tortilla right on top, and we're going to smash them down like a smash burger. And we're going to let that burger just crust onto that grill. We're going to let it just sit there and let that crust form. Okay. Repeat the process with all 4 of these now. Guys, if I had smell-o-vision right now, you guys would be knocking on my door. And let's go on to the third. I'm so glad I did these instead of the smash. I mean, the smash burgers would have been good, but something tells me this is going to be different. Okay, beautiful. We got that smashed out. Let's get the last one going. Alright, got the tortilla on top. Give it a smash. And now we're just going to let it work. You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to futz with it. You want to just let it sit there and do its thing. And when you think you're ready to get in there, you get in there with that spatula and you give it a little check. But like I said, you want it to just sit there and crust up. Don't be scared. Look at this. Look what's going on over here. I mean, the smells are just amazing. Amazing. all those fragrant spices and the onions and the peppers and the garlic. And that lamb is really going to bring something to the party as well. Like I said, I think these would be just fine with straight ground beef, but that lamb I think is actually going to really add something to this whole operation. All right, now I'm going to go in for the flip. Let's see how they come out. That one looks, oh my God, look at the crust on that, guys. You'll be able to see it in a second when I move out of the way. Guys, look at the crust on these things. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look what's going on with this crust. The last time I saw crust like this was on Tim's underwear. Look at the crust on those burgers, guys. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. Now I'm going to go on with the cheddar onto each one. Bada bing, bada boom. Guys, are you looking at the crust on these burgers, on these tacos? I mean, it almost looks like I know what I'm doing. You watching this, cow poopy? All right, now we got the cheese on, and we're gonna treat these kind of like if you've ever done quesadilla tacos. We're gonna fold them, let the cheese melt, and then we're gonna flip them from time to time and let them crisp up on the outside. There we go. First one's flipped over. Give it a little press down. Nice. And we're gonna just repeat the process for all four of these. It's best. I found it easier after the first one to kind of go in with my spatula and slice it. Give it a little cut up the middle. It'll fold easier for you. There you go. And let's go on to the third one. Boom, boom. Give it a little slice up the middle of the burger so it'll fold. And then bam, right over. Like I said, it's a little tricky to do. But like I said, if you want to eat good, guys, you got to put a little effort into it. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you wind up eating Jimmy Dean sausage and eggs. And this is the fourth one, flipped over, nicey nice. And now we're gonna let them just, like I said, like when we did the crust on the burgers. Same thing. We want these to just kind of crisp up. We'll let them sit for a little while. We'll flip them over. Let them sit on that side for a little while. Flip them back to the other side until they're to the crispiness that we want. There we go. Watch this. Yeah, look at what's going on over here. You see that? You see that color on that? Look at this. Look. Oh my God. These are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. That one was a little bit of a bitch. I'll give you that one. That one's a little bit of a pain in the ass. And like I said, guys, if you can smell what's going on over here, it is just amazing. It really is. And I'm just going to let these cook until they crisp up the way I want them to. And we'll just flip them from time to time. And there we go. Look what's going on over here. Look how they're looking. You see the cheese is melting. The shells are crisp on the outside. Oh my God, guys. Sad that everybody's not eating this right now. It really is. I feel bad. I feel bad for anybody that's not eating these tacos right now. Okay, one more flip. Look at that side. Guys, these tacos are outrageous. They're just about ready to come off. And then we're gonna bring them inside. I'm gonna hit them with that sauce, and we're gonna try them out. See how they are. See if they taste as good as they look and smell. And there they are, guys. Hitting it with some of that sauce. Oh God, that it looks good. Oh, beautiful, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's try these babies out. Let's try these out and see what they taste like. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Fork in the Road coming to you tonight with another cooking video. Tonight I did Dubai tacos. If you don't know what those are, I'm going to explain them to you right now. I didn't know what they were either until recently, and I was planning on doing a smash burger for my next cooking video, and I started doing a little research and looking at other videos and scouring around and seeing what was doing out there, and I came across these Dubai tacos, and they are the best way I could describe them is a cross between a smash burger and a taco, and these are outrageous. I tasted a little bit of it already, and I got to tell you, the flavors in here are amazing. The video I showed you me mixing everything and cooking everything, so you'll see what's in it. But just know that these were originally, I think they were based off of, well, the origin of them, I think they started at a restaurant in Dubai. There's a barbecue restaurant in Dubai, I think it's called 77 Texas Barbecue, if I'm not mistaken. And they do authentic Texas barbecue in Dubai. There's a guy who has a channel, the Mad Scientist of Barbecue or something like that. That's where I first saw these. He did a version of them. I guess he flew to Dubai and actually had them, and then came back and he made them on his channel. I watched his videos. I watched a few others, and I kind of came up with my own, spice blend. Everybody seems to change up the spice blend, and nobody kind of really knows what the sauce is. They won't tell. The restaurant in Texas won't give the secret sauce out, the recipe. So everybody kind of does their version of it, and I did my version of it, which you'll see in the video. But anyway, these I used lamb and beef because, if I'm not mistaken, from what I understand, the origin of these they're based off of an Egyptian street food. And I know they use a lot of lamb in Egypt. So what I did was I used 50% lamb, 50% ground beef when I made these, when I made the mix. Anyway, I can't look at these anymore. I gotta try one. Dubai tacos. On my, I did them on the pellet smoker, on the Pit Boss, and let me tell you, they look amazing, they smell amazing, and I'm going to let you know how they taste right now. Let me give them a little squeeze of lime, see what it's doing here. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm almost speechless. These are so flavorful. The peppers and onions and garlic and the blend of spices that are in here, it's just amazing. The flavors are amazing. I gotta try another bite. Oh, guys, if you're not into lamb, which some people aren't, you could just use straight beef. Most people do. I think the lamb kind of really adds a little. I'm a lamb person. I like lamb. I think it really brings something to the table. That being said, I think if they were all beef, they would still be good. But I gotta get another bite, dude. I gotta get another bite. Yeah, these are outrageous. These really are one of the best things I've made in a while. Guys, you got to try this recipe. Dubai tacos. Recipe will be down below in the description. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Fork off and peace out.